Hi everyone, I'm Sharon Freese and I am a designer for Stamp On It, which is out of Michigan. And what we are going to do is do a series of videos showing you how to use the products that Stamp On It carries. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to use GlitterFoil and all the many ways that you can work with it. This is the way that our glitter foil comes. We have many colors. We have green, red, silver, gold, and clear. And you'll notice they all have the glitter in. The only one is transparent is the clear. The rest are for accenting. So I'm going to show you some samples of the actual glitter foil in use. You'll see the beautiful sparkling behind all the images on the table. They all have a sparkle, and that all has to do with the glitter foil. We used a few with the solid silver to show you that it is an accent piece, but what I'm really going to teach you is the simple use of the glitter foil. What we have is we have art acetates, which we have over here is some samples. This is the way that our art acetates come. They are pre-printed on a sheet. Beautiful images, and you'll need to go to the website to see all that we carry. But I'm just showing you a few examples of how they will come. And you can cut them either with scissors or a trimmer. They are acetate, as you can see. We have the backing paper so that you can make out the pattern. Now what you do is you're going to trim an art acetate piece down, and as with all of them, you're going to have a shiny side and a dull side. And I'm hoping you'll be able to see that on the camera, the dull side. All of our procedures that we do are all done on the dull side of our images. You need to trim down the glitter foil. And then the way that I remove the glitter foil is I don't try and go from the corner. I take my finger and I rub on the edge, and when I do that, it starts to pull away. You do not want to remove the whole backing off the glitter foil. All I do is pull down about an inch or less just to get it started. If you pull this all the way off, you will get air bubbles. And one thing about that with this particular glitter embedded vinyl is there's no getting rid of the air bubbles. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to place the glitter foil onto the dull side of the acetate, and I'm going to rub down. The next thing that you can do is you can take a credit card, your bone folder, and you can start to guide this along to adhere it to the back of our vintage hue. And when you're done, you have it on there like that. And it doesn't matter that a little bit of the sticky is on this side. We're just going to trim that off. And I'm just going to use scissors. If you don't like to use scissors, you can use a trimmer, but it really isn't going to matter. Now the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to lay this on here, and see how now you can see how it's coming to shape. Okay, so here it is. Now what we have to use is we need to use our overlays. And our overlays do come in rectangle, oval, circle. We also have square and a small circle. These are a really nice product with all of our techniques that we do. So now we just need to put this together. So I am just going to put tape behind here. And we have this tape. It is a tear tape, a double-sided clear adhesive tape, and it comes in many widths. We'll get get to show you those in a little bit. And as you can see, it is very sticky. So what I'm gonna do is, this is gonna be hard because I'm not right in front of it. There's how sticky it is, people. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to turn it around to face me. So I apologize for that. All right, there we go. Now it's on there. Now we need to attach it to the front of our card. And there is something new that I learned, and I'm sorry to say I didn't do it this previous time of putting the tape down. I saw it somewhere, and I'm sorry I can't give credit to whoever did it, but it is a nice way of putting down your piece without having to worry about getting it caught like I just did. You see, I pulled it back and then bent it. And I know that this is just a really nice tip for everyone to have. I'm not pulling it all the way off. It gives you the ability to place this on straighter. Oops, didn't have that pulled out. Okay. You're able to put this on more even without having to worry about fighting with all the tape. And then all you do is pull one strand off. You pull this one off, that one, and that one, and it's all stuck down now. It's a whole lot easier than fighting with all that sticky. Now the next thing that I did is I accessorized it with our JJ stickers. Okay, I wanted to show you how our stickers come. They come packaged like this, and they're all in different colors. We also have silver, but I just wanted to show you they're all the same pattern. All right, so I am going to show you how to remove the backing. So you open it up, and you can either use your fingers or you can get a pokey tool, but I just get it started here. And then I kind of do a little bit of wiggle. Oops, I lost one there. And I just kind of wiggle. If you lose one, don't freak out. And then I just go like that to get rid of it all. And then you're all ready to start using them. So here's the one that we're going to use for this project. Okay, so once in a while I get a few things in there that were supposed to fall out, and I don't always go at those right away. So you see how I don't have this in my hand? I have it on a pin. You can use a head pin, a T-pin, something that is sharp, a pokey tool, and this helps to guide it where you want it to go. Then you put your finger down and press it. Then I go back and get another one. Now another trick that I learned is if you moisten your finger, have a little sponge sitting next to you. And if you don't have a pokey tool, if you just keep your finger moist, you can then set it down without having it stuck to you. But I tend to like the little pokey tool. So again, I'll go here. So here are the borders that I use. We have numerous types of borders. If you get on the website, you will be able to see all the borders. And again, they come in all the colors. So I just picked one that I liked, and I just pry it off, and I always pull the whole thing off. And then I just start in a corner. Doesn't matter if you start on the short side or the long side. Really doesn't matter. And then, excuse my hand, but I am left-handed. Whoops. And now we'll go on to this one. Oh, that laid down almost beautiful, all on its own. And now I'm going to need a second one. Because we're going all the way around, you tend to use 2 strips. I'm not really seeing how close I'm getting. Hopefully not too bad. You can always pick these up. So one thing about our stickers is that they're really not permanent until they've sat for a little while. So you do have some wiggle room to pick it up and to move it. And that's why I like this piercing tool. So that if I get something off, something I don't like, then I can easily do it. So now you see how you get them both. And it was very easy to achieve. This is our next one using the glitter foil, and I'm just going to show you parts of it. I'm not going to complete the whole thing. What I do here is behind this particular art acetate, which is our flower petals background, and you'll see as compared to the vintage hues, they are printed in black, okay? This is a watercolor paper that I created using our Tombow markers, and I did a drag technique, which we will get into in future videos. But what works with the glitter foil is that here's the black, and when it goes on top, look at how pretty the colors show through. So I'm now, again, as with all, I'm going to look for the dull side of the image. And again, I'm going to pull the glitter foil back to separate it from its backing. I fold this so that I give myself what I call a handle, and then I just start applying the foil. Hoping this is going to show well. See, you just go along. And it now has the glitter foil all over it. And again, I always give myself a little extra. So if you're wondering why is the glitter foil being sticky, I don't like to be exact, because when you're putting this on, you can easily get it crooked. So I'm always giving myself that little bit of excess. So all I'm going to do now is I'm going to adhere this. That is how I would do it here. I would then take another one of our overlays in the ivory and I would place it on top. And that's how I would get this particular finished card. And it's just beautiful how it sparkles. And we will get into how to do these in the next video, but I thought I would accent that with that. Now what I want to show you is another way to use our glitter foil. And this is a stamped image that is colored in using Tombow markers. You can use colored pencils, whatever you want. And we're putting the glitter foil over the top. So I've already pre-stamped this image. And then I am going to take some of my markers. If you want to know the colors that I'm using, oh, I think I grabbed the wrong one here. Let me peek and see. Didn't write it down. You can use any one of these colors. I think I'm going to pull this one out, and we'll use these. This happens to be Tombow 623, Tombow 723, and Tombow 126. Now that doesn't mean that you have to use these colors, but that's just a starting point if you want to know what I used there. So I am just going to apply the color. Wherever you want this color to be, there isn't a right or wrong way. You may like to put different combos or put the pink in a different spot than what I'm doing. I'm going to physically color this all in, but we will probably fast forward through it so that you don't have to watch all of it. And if I keep track pretty good, I might be able to tell you how long it took me to do this. It really is not long at all. There it is, all colored in. I think it took me only 5 minutes, maybe even only 3. So then again, you want to cut a piece of glitter foil. This is the white glitter foil, and you want to cut it, you know, to where it's going to fit the image with a little bit of excess. And again, as I say, it's easiest to do it this way, to peel it back. One thing I found is when I cut this, sometimes the cut edge doesn't want to pull back as easy. So then I just move to one of these other sides. So if you're having troubles, do that, okay? Then I'm going to take the picture and I am going to cover it with the glitter foil. So this can be anything. Maybe at home you have a whole bunch of colored in images and you'd like to jazz them up a little. This is what this glitter foil is. I call this my go-to product because when I need a card really fast, this is what you need. So then you would place this over. And how pretty is that? Now I will finish this out. This is a little bit bigger. Did not have that trimmed. So, you know, an easy way. I just draw around where I need to cut. Because this is only the backing. Where if you had stamped it, you could also stamp it directly on the front of the card because your overlay that you're going to use will cover it up also. But this is something that I already had pre-stamped ahead of time. So it was on some excess cardstock. So it's not exactly the right size. If you're wondering about that noise with these scissors, it's those Tim Holtz serrated edge that sharpen themselves all the time. So they make a little noise. So now what I want to do is I want to attach this together. So I'm going to do that same method like I showed you that really has made a easier time of me adhering things together. If you go away with this in thought and you go, wow, I really learned a new way to tape my stuff down. I am not one that likes to haul out scissors a lot to cut things because usually I'm in a hurry and want it done fast. So all you do is you take one, you bend it back. And then I usually try and do opposing corners like this. They're right next to each other. Then I'll go down here and do this one. Then I will take the image and I will lay this down on here, getting it in there as best I can. And then again, you just slide that off. And if I find I see I've got a little bit of white cardstock still showing, all I have to do is just trim that off. It's not hard. You can get your trimmer out, but my trimmer is really big and it would take up this whole table. So I'm just gonna do it this way. Yes, and excuse my left hand. You see me cutting and you wanna go, what? So now we can decorate this. So what I'm going to do is get out some more of our stickers that we have. We have some corners and some words. We have numerous words, which you can go to the website, stamponit.net, and figure out what it is that you want and in all the colors that you might like. So I just pull this off, and I sometimes decorate it before I put it down. That's up to you. And I did leave a little, what I call a chad in there, and it's easy to get it out. There it goes. And you know, these are handmade, so perfection, if you're wanting that, you know, yeah. I've learned a long time ago to let some things go. Don't grieve over the little things. And you see how easy it is with this tool. And it doesn't have to be this exact tool, but just something with a sharp point that gives you the ability to move it around. And in here, I got the tip in there just a little bit, so I just replaced it down. And I'm hoping I'm getting that pretty good because I'm looking at it kind of upside down. There we go. Oh, there's another one left in there. And, you know, if you don't catch them, no problem. Then I'm going to take this with love. And like I said, have a sponge nearby that is moist, because when you take off words, it's always a little difficult. But if you have a moist finger, you can place it down without distorting it because it does not stick to your hand. Now I feel like I'm putting that on a little crooked, so I'm gonna have to turn it and look at it a smidge. I had a little extra piece. That doesn't look too bad, I guess. So now I'm gonna remove the love. And I'm gonna place this down. If you wanted to for a, yeah, that's crooked. Do you see how you can move these? I'm almost glad I put it on crooked so that you can see how easy it is to lift them up. You know, I'll even pull this up. It probably was crooked, but it's very easy to pick these up. You have that wiggle room. Yeah, of course today, ladies. All right, so then I would just attach it to the front, just like that. And there you have a card done really simply. You can color them in with Copics if you want. But there you go with that one. I also wanted to show you this particular one. We're not going to actually make this, but this is a sample I did using our silver glitter foil. This is an opaque glitter foil, and as you can see here, these are the two dies that I used to create this frame. And this is what's left over, which you can use on another project if you want. And then out of this glitter foil sheet, I cut a 1/4 inch strip and just attached it to the top and bottom. Now that is a very fast card that you can make. As you see with this gold, this is how it was in there. And when it comes out from this, here's what you get. Okay, so I just wanted to show you this, and I will be showing you how to do this butterfly in another video. This card right here is made using our art acetates, which are our black and white image that is like this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to color it in using our alcohol markers. Our alcohol markers are a highly concentrated marker that is meant for coloring stickers. And I will get a little bit more in detail about our alcohol markers in another video, but I'm just going to show you how I color these in. We also need our Copic colorless blender pen. So as I've always said, you need to find the shiny side and the dull side. There's the shiny side, and this is the dull side. And like I said, almost everything is done on the dull side. So I'm going to start with the yellow. And as you can see, our tips are bullet tips. And I'm just applying some color. I'm not necessarily trying to be exact. I'm just applying some color. Then I'm going to take the blender pen, and always consider that your blender pens are dirty. And that one is really dirty. And you just want to keep going until it's clean. As you can see, I just did these, so I got a lot of orange on here. All right, we're going to see how this goes. And with a light motion, you're going to try and move the yellow to kind of fill in areas. You still want to keep some light and dark areas. You want to keep it so it has a little bit of a variation of color. What I do periodically is I will turn it over and see how I like how that's doing. And if it's doing nicely and I'm blending well, then I just keep on going. So then I would take my orange and I would go along here. And I would just add color. You see, I'm not trying to be perfect about it. I'm applying color, and it's kind of in a little bit of what I would call random. Should have put a little scrap paper there for me. Now with the darker color, you're gonna see that it changes a lot more, and that is because the one thing I always try and teach everyone is that solvent removes solvent, and we are on a non-porous surface. So as you see, a lot of this orange is going from dark to a lighter color. And if I went really heavy, I could totally remove the color. But I'm just doing a very light touch, leaving some of the dark in places and some of it not. And then if you turn it over at this stage, when you're working with the more complicated one, then you can see that it's not looking too bad. So I'm just gonna keep going, and we will fast forward through this probably. I do want to show you where I went over the edge, and you can remove the color. What I want to show you is that you can remove color. If you see, there's a couple of spots on here where I went beyond the line. So if you just put the colorless blender there and wipe with your paper towel, you can remove any excess. So don't worry if you accidentally go outside of the lines. I think we timed this, and this took me approximately 5 minutes to complete. And so as you notice, it's not this perfect colored in piece, but it definitely has a beauty about it. So again, I've turned it back over to the dull side, and here is our wonderful glitter foil. And again, we're going to apply it as we did before. Now this might be one of my cut edges, so I'm going to move to another one, and there it goes. You can start above or just at it, really doesn't matter. You can use your fingers or a bone folder. And there we have it, all covered with the glitter foil. Now what I will do is I will be trimming it down. So I'm going to do an overlay, and I'm going to trim off the excess. And I might wait until after I glue it on to trim. So let me move this out of the way, because I want you to watch this again as to how easy it is to do this technique. Some of you may not like it, but I think it's the greatest way to put it down now. I fought with it, getting it on crooked, and because I had all the sticky showing, and this way then you don't. You only have a portion of it. And if you notice, I don't pick from the corner. I pick from the side. That's the way that I take it off. Whoops, and I better do it over here. So I just go from the side and peel back a portion and fold it back. See how sticky our stuff is. It's very good tape. All right, so I'm going to fit it over the image. Press down where the tape is. This one out. This one out. And there. So now I'm just going to use my scissors to trim away the excess. Oops, I trimmed a little bit. No crisis. Just to let you know, no matter how experienced you are, you can shave a few things off and you don't want to get too worried about it. So now again, I'm going to mount this to the front of the card. Now looks like I hid that one, so we'll just reach under here and find it and pull it out. Once in a while they'll pull back. Looks like I got one of my little silver things on there. Okay. Then as we did before, this one I did on white and this one I did on ivory. So as we've done in the past, you can just put the corners and the borders on and you can see the difference. You know, you're using the same product and the same markers, but when you put ivory behind it, as you can see, this is an ivory card as compared to a white card put behind it. It gives it a whole different look with the same products. Just want to show you this particular one here. This is also using the silver glitter foil as we did here, except they just cut panels to match around to accent this particular card. And you have you have the red, the green, the silver, and the gold to choose from. So as you can see, this has been a video using our glitter foil in all the different techniques that we can do with it. So what you want to do is anything that you are interested in that we used in this video, to go on www.stamponit.net to purchase anything here. And I hope you had fun, and we'll see you in the next video. Thank you.